It is now time for Canto 9, Part 4. I like Pablo up here. He's like, he's concerned about Gregor. They keep him around though. I'm glad they understand he's Gregor's emotional support pet. I'm sorry if I get anything wrong. If I try to make any like analytical points or recall knowledge. I'm just I'm not like a poser or like a fake fan or that other word that I refuse to say. I just have a really bad memory. Please forgive me if I fuck something up. A funeral was held for Martin and the LCE researchers today. What a rollicking start to this. But never before had I witnessed this many people gather in one place to mourn the deceased together. The unfamiliarity made me feel a bit out of place. Most of the sinners seemed to be feeling that similar sense of being out of their element as well. Some of them were asking Merceau, apparently the most knowledgeable of them all when it came to funeral processes and etiquette. Oh no, don't say that. Expressing respect is the primary purpose. Hand placement and gesture are unimportant if the objective can be accomplished. Give me some slack. I've never been to funerals all that much. I mean, I did tell you to read the manual. Nerd! Oh, wait, hold on. I shouldn't be saying that at the funeral. My bad. Sorry, Ishi. The wall of text was just too much for me. My focus started fizzling out from page 30 onwards. Same. Me when my friend makes me read the TTRPG rulebook. Hadn't every sinner here attended a funeral before? Back when we set foot in that grim manor at T-Corp? God. Got his voice dawn. Ah! Thou speakest of the funeral held in young Heathcliff's manor, dost thou not? The one bereft of the dead. If the situation was indeed as thou sayest, then there was no helping it forsooth. Yet, 'tis a pity that the dead wasn't named at their own funeral. The name of the deceased was... It was Catherine's funeral. She was very dear to Heathcliff. Fine, Clockhead. At least you remember. That's good enough, innit? I assume that sort of impediment was just pretty common stuff for funerals, but apparently not, huh? No, well, I think it's actually rare to see a place that follows proper funeral procedures. I've traveled around quite a bit myself, but I can't confidently say that I've ever been to a legitimate funeral. It seems funerals are far from being an everyday custom in the city. That sucks. That blows. I need more of that. Funerals are considered a rather extravagant practice here as well. Corporations are not eager to grant times off just because an irrelevant someone died, and the price of real estate seldom makes it viable to buy land and erect memorial houses on it. Then, what other options do people usually have? We used to just leave them where they died. And then after one night's sleep, the bodies were gone just like that. Hohenheim scoffed and hung his head. Comforting the soul of the departed, another mendacity. All this fun so carelessly squandered, all for the purpose of furnishing the living with a fragile excuse to cling on. Are those words from his heart? Or just something said to convince himself? Oh, buddy. I know he's grieving. You're a fake I don't give a fucker. I know you. I know it. Crazy eye bags under those glasses. You're pretending not to give a fuck. I know it. Whichever was the truth. I couldn't see the look on his face with his head tucked so low. The funeral didn't last long. The ceremony came to a close once Alyssa, who was still in recovery, came to pay her final respects. The flames devoured the coffins of Martin and the other researchers, announcing the end of their existence with the crackle of firewood. So... I suppose you'll be leaving now? We're staying until Gregor's stable enough to travel. Dante says we'll remain here until Gregor's condition settles. Gregor came to his senses again a few days after his unforeseen metamorphosis in the Battle of the Nerds. The what? The what? Say that again? He was given a checkup and Hohenheim said there was no cause for concern. Physically, that is. The psychological assessment had turned... Oh, no! No! The psychological assessment turned up disastrous, to say the least. Gregor was declared unfit for combat deployment for the time being. No! So you won't be leaving just yet? Good to know. Then I assume you'll be okay with us borrowing Sinclair for a while? What are you gonna do with Sinclair? Please be gentle with him, he's sensitive. Me? He knows he's about to get passed around like a blunt. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, you. The LCE wants to look into the sign that you manifested, Sinclair. Hohenheim is very interested in you for your ability to hijack somebody's canto, despite the fact that, you know, it was kind of built up to in like spring cultivation, but you know, whatever. The higher-ups didn't waste a second greenlighting the project, which means what I'm telling you is more of a notice of investigation than a request for permission. Huh? What investigation? What are you? Just a rather rudimentary instance of human experimentation. Calm yourself. Human experimentation? Did you really have to put it like that, boss? Not to worry, Sinclair. A swipe or two of your skid and maybe some talk therapy. That's all there is to it. Of course, if we had your consent, the avenues of research could vastly... No, I'm not giving you my consent. For your reference, the other departments have also submitted some quite enthusiastic requests for research and observational purposes. And had we allowed them, they'd have kept you for a good few months before letting you go. Months? That's why? Why would they keep it for months? That's kind of like objectively bad idea. We don't have months. What are you talking about? We need to get the bows. Like Marceau's Canto is in months, but like it's fine. You can do Marceau's Canto without Sinclair. It's fine. Alyssa waved in the researchers who were filling out of the funeral hall after paying their respects. It wasn't long before Sinclair found himself surrounded on all sides. Do I even have to keep making the jokes? Wait, I'm perfectly capable of walking on my own. Just don't run any painful tests on me. Of course. Stay strong, Sinclair. All I could do was offer an unspoken encouragement to Sinclair, who said it ready to collapse into full-blown panic at any minute. Bye. What about you? You're not going with them? Oh, it's back to the long-term recovery award for me. Enjoy it while it lasts. I highly suspect that every request for PTO submitted by our department will be rejected for the rest of the year. Well, it's true your average corporation doesn't give more than a week off a year. As soon as Eliza trudged off with her dragging steps, the researcher seized Sinclair and carried him away. All right, we should get going too. Oh, do you all have somewhere else to be? Well, I thought I'd go visit Gregor. I'm worried about him. Oh, Han Greg stalks up. Got something I said I'd help with. You gotta be there for it. I'm going with Sinclair to get some rest. Also to keep an eye on the research and stop them if they try anything fishy with the experiments. You're funny, aren't you? This is the second event in a row where you have said this. Grow up. Let me know if you need anything, Dante. The sinners fanned out in different directions. They seem to have their own errands to run during our stay at the LCE. All by myself. Everyone's busy with their own thing. I'm so needy. Otis, where are you? The only ones keeping me company now were Ryoshu and Don Quixote, who was sniffing and asking around every corner for Vespa in a valiant quest for the new color fixer's whereabouts. Get a grip, girl. Faust was still here too, staring blankly into the air. Oh, you poor woman. Is she accessing the Gesellschaft? I hope not. You seem to have some time to spare, manager. As I stood there, wondering what I should do to pass the time, Hohenheim, who had apparently finished tackling and signing the stack of papers, walked over me. This makes things rather convenient. There's something I had intended to discuss with you and Sinner Ryoshu, a matter that requires your assistance. What kind of assistance? WKOA, says CH. Wait a minute. Did Ryoshu just step in as my interpreter? There is, I must admit, a certain novelty in witnessing the reconstruction of that of which requires interpretation into yet another linguistic form equally demanding of it. Now listen closely. The one I seek is a bear of hair fashioned in the likeness of a bull. You there, why don't you join us too? Dost thou speak of me? The LCEA personnel who were cornered about a Don Quixote in a rather forceful interrogation regarding Vespa's wherabouts took the opportunity to fled the scene without so much as a backward glance the moment their captor turned head to answer Hohenheim. Just this like fucking like 5'3" woman. Just like cornering a bunch of scared scientists. That's really funny. Indeed, there's a task that requires your assistance. But I have yet more words to trade with the most noble Yellow Harpoon. That's real. It's still a really bad name. Ezra could have done a lot better. You seek to emulate the virtue of chivalry. Does that entail turning down the earnest plea of those in need? For the sake of clarity and distinction, it would be prudent to assign you a different identifier than that of my assistant. You are to be. I have not yet concluded mine exchange with the Yellow Harpoon, but no true knight would abandon those who call for aid. Pray, speak thy request. How may I be of service to thee? Delegating the interpretation of the manager's speech to Sinner number 4 has proven to be counterproductive. As such, your task will be to report to me what the manager says. Aha! That is indeed a simple task. However, this WKOA eludeth mine understanding as well. Prithee, allow me but a little time to uncover its mystery. Relay the manager's words, not Sinner Ryoshu's. They are asking you what kind of assistance you need. The request for interpretation was not directed to you. but I cannot deny that your meddling in the present circumstance is a welcome one. It was simply that the irrationality and inefficiency of your suboptimal staffing choices and workflow become sufficiently unbearable. Faust hopes that this was not some guileful scheme devised to elicit Faust's cooperation. In any case, manager, this request of mine requires an investigation into the back doors located in this house of spiders. Do we have to go to the house of spiders right away? H-O-S-R-A. You have assisted enough. She knows. She's fucking with him on purpose. I get it. Go off, queen. Perhaps you could help Faust. Sure. Sure. Just sure. She's tired. She just got back from getting chewed out by the other Faust. Though not word for word. Faust relayed my intention to Hohenheim, responded shaking his head. Not immediately, no. There's one more member you should bring along. One more member? Seeing me tilt my head, Hohenheim pushed up his glasses. The apprentice who was captured alive in the house of spiders. Kira. She has regained consciousness. Yay! Yay! We get to see her again. Yay! I hope she's okay. The place Hohenheim led us to looked less like a recovery ward and more like an interrogation chamber. Aside from the one-way window, it does kind of look like a recovery room. Kira! Hi. She had the sports bra on. Is that Haynes? It looks like Haynes to me. That's the Chico mystery. Nobody knows how they keep the bow on the forehead. She was captured alive for the extraction of information, yes? How far along is the progress of extraction? You know, if you spend like 130 lunacy, you could have a chance of getting some pretty good information. That's how I extract. Other companies do not solicit your cooperation by means of a verbal exchange. Your interrogator would simply open your cranium, harvest your brain, and extract any and all necessary information without going through the intermediary steps such as this. You're so freaking annoying, you know that, mister? The feeling is entirely mutual. But the furthest matter to you, manager. Work of this sort falls more within your capabilities than my own. Woo! Kim Ji-hoon. You know, he loves his new sliding tech. What should I even say to persuade her? Hey, Kira, don't be too worked up about your dad. You know, you're written by Kim Ji-hoon. Like being fucked with by your parents comes with the it comes with the setting. Don't worry about it. Don't take it personally. Blows smoke in her face like a baby at a diner. Or you got stabbed in the back by Matthias. I mean, yeah. Me and Ryoshu had we had the same approach. She's literally me. That's not true. You're lying. Besides, he made the right choice. A little sacrifice ain't a thing in a family. He made the wrong choice. He fucked up. He died. He's dead. We killed him. There was a hole in him. Family. Coming from him. A middle mutt thrown out of his kennel. That fucker. He fucked up badly. Ryoshu's like, she's still fucking pissed off. She is not mincing words. He was that family member no one wanted around. Don't invite Matthias to Thanksgiving.
I never sucked any ding-dongs. But I'll tell you, if they were going to blackmail me to start World War III about one, I'd say, hey, I sucked a golf ball through a freaking garden hose.
Cooperate quietly or I'll snap your neck completely right this instant. Oh my goodness, God. That face. Is it hot in here? Is that just me? Whatever. I get it, okay? I'll talk if that's what you want so bad. That actually worked. Fixers who go out in a blaze of glory aren't actually the strong ones. It's the ones who survive. The ones who live to see another day and keep getting stronger. True, like my goat, the Indigo Elder. Bro is ancient. That's how you know he's powerful. You don't fuck with the old dudes in anime. They'll fuck you up. We made our way to the house of spiders with Kira trailing behind us, looking like she was smelling something particularly fishy on us. Why is it so fishy here? Oh boy, combat. Only a few days had passed since our last visit, but the place looked markedly different from what we remember. For thee, who might those people thither thee? It's Lethal Company! This is like introductions are in order for both sides. This is team leader Alan from Wayfarer Company. Will be working with us on the investigation into the house's back doors. Wayfarer Company. I want to play that game. Fuck Limbus Company. I want to play Wayfarer Company. These guys look awesome. Wayfarer Company? There's other companies? A corporate entity partnered with Limbus Company, responsible for providing portal technology. It has, on prior occasion, been referred to as the new or aspirant W Corp, though the name is an unofficial one. I'm with these guys. Fuck W Corp. Our employees have also taken to calling you the new L Corp, something we have in common, given that we're both chasing after the same horizon. Ah, I remember. That company vying to take W Corp's place, right? Yes, that's what they just, that was what was communicated to you, Dante. After all, the old L Corp has already fallen, while W Corp, from what I've heard, is free falling at this point. Rip Bozo. And these are the manager and sinners of the LCB department, our field operations unit. frequently deployed to deal with on-site matters firsthand. They have more personnel, but the rest are tied up with other duties as well. Only a handful will be joining this investigation effort. I understand. Field operation units are almost always understaffed anyway. The support you provide is more than sufficient. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad somebody is like appreciative of our efforts and not chewing us out. Cayman was like low-key kind of like justified, but like she didn't have to be so rude about it. She's lucky she's attractive. Oh, he's cute. Hi, Alan. Pleased to make your acquaintance. The name's Alan, leader of Door Breach Team 4. You know, you're kind of IKEA with it. I won't lie. Likewise, they are stunned by his beauty. What do we call this? Dallin? Alte? I don't know. I'm not a shipper. I can't tell you. I've heard great things about you, Manager Dante of Limbus Company, and the bus team's performance. You capitalized on the suppression of distortions at T-Corp as leverage to push your products. And the profits were nothing short of staggering, I heard. Yeah, we did sell that monolith to Mr. Hubert, or Herbert, whatever the fuck his name is. Oh yeah, we're supposed to be distortion resolving specialists to the public. But what's that product part about? The manager says it was merely a matter of luck. They also said, looking forward to you on this test. That's not what they said. Oh, are you the interpreter? In that case, I'll be sure to consult my manager only when both of you are available. Sure. Fucking Faust is not in the mood. She's been getting chewed out recently, I know. Poor girl. It's alright. Faust didn't seem particularly pleased with the role Alan had pinned on her, but she nodded anyway. Faust, if it's any consolation, I appreciate you. You're not just an interpreter, but like you are my good work friend. I don't know. I'm not good at this stuff. Just don't let like stupid people tell you you're stupid. All right. He is referring to the monolith sales project. The credit was attributed to the LCB at the express request of Mr. Hubert, T-Corp's executive director. Oh, so that's how the rumor spread, huh? We've reviewed the agreements. Now, I understand you'll be assisting in verifying what lies beyond the back. I'd appreciate it if you could share any prior knowledge you have whether these back doors connect. As detailed as you can make them, if you don't mind. Hohenheim fixed Kira with a pointed look, though Kira responded by defiantly cocking her head in a show of irritation. She still gave up the sliver of information she had. I can envision it clearly in my head with like the little anger vein puffing up her cheek and just going, Honestly, I got pretty much nothing if it's about Robo-Unk in his room. Robo-Unk? For a second, I thought she was talking about Lei Heng. I want Robo Lei Heng to be real so bad. Robo-Unk. I mean, I've seen Albina hit up that door and the other one over there when she was popping out to farm stuff, but she's a farmer? I need to see Albina in overalls. I need that. Can you imagine like being like a rat in the back streets and all of a sudden some metal woman comes out of nowhere and just starts ripping your guts out? I'd be pissed. What? That's literally all I got for you, for real. For a moment, Alan leveled Kira with a stiff expression. Oh my god, he's kind of scary. And even before I could register what had happened, Kira's head jerked to the side from a sudden punch by Al. Oh no, I don't like him anymore. Never mind. Dallin is canceled. Fuck this guy. Did you just hit me? Not even my dad hit me. What manner of discourtesy is this? Yeah. Stand up. With all that whining, I thought the brat could use a lesson to remind her of her place. Fuck you. Oh, and I'm not happy. He's like, oh no, I blocked this guy completely wrong. I thought he was kind of chill with it. Team leader Alan, that sort of conduct may not be an issue on your organization, but here it is. Should it happen again, do understand that we may choose to terminate today's joint engagement without delay. My apologies. I'll keep that in mind going forward. I know he's mad. He's fuming. He gets to sock me in the face and walk off scot-free. So freaking annoying. Oh, God. Fortunately enough, her grumbling didn't escalate to her lashing out at Alan. That's crazy. This like fucking like spoiled brat descendant of the middle. It has more self-control in regards to lashing out than this fucking guy. Don't associate with W, motherfuckers. None of them are good. Okay, let's see what's in here. Aminals. That's a whale. This one over here is awesome. I like that one. The crocodile. It's so weird thinking that there's like animals in the city. You almost like never see them. Is that a monkey hand? I think. this is like a big cat of some kind. I don't know. It looks kind of like a cryptid that I saw before in a book. Is this some kind of wildlife exhibit? Monkey! This is a really good background. I really like this. Holy shit! The scale is just insane. That's the whale from the Aid Association Career Lake Special Issue. Man, seeing it in real life sure hits different. And the Indigo Elder solo one-shots these monsters with that harpoon of his, huh? Yeah, Indigo Elder mentioned. Me and this Intervalo were like on the same page. They look almost alive. They're not, right? Not. Duh. The Robo-Unk did... Don't say Robo-Unk. I'm trying to read. The Robo-Unk did say the ring has these zoos where they put monsters on display live. I want to go to the zoo. I want to go to the ring zoo. That sounds awesome. Maybe the ring ain't so bad. I always thought they were gross, but like, I think they might be goated. It's a gallery of the school of fauvism. Turning towards the sound of shoes clacking on the floor, we found strange figures wearing animal masks staring directly at us. These guys are fucking awesome. You came through that door, and the house's fall wasn't just a baseless rumor. You. Who are you? Ah, right. It makes sense that you failed to recognize me. I used to wear a different mask back when I used to visit you as your tutor, didn't I? A wolf, if memory serves right. Emile Benoit. And they say you can't hatch a phoenix from a chicken's egg. Doesn't always apply, I see. A cut from the Ryoshu, even if it doesn't give us a real fighting chance, might at least stall the maestro long enough to give us the time to get away. If you want a taste. What's the matter? The lock the house of spiders used to bind the Ryoshu no longer exists. So why? So the rumors of you mastering that relic, were they false? Tell me, Yoshihide, what do you think a serpent's defining strength is? The maestro advanced towards us with an assured certainty and seized a beige thread dangling from the ceiling. No, calling it a mere thread would be wrong. It was something that resembled the thread, yet felt much more disturbing. The flexibility of the spine, linked like a chain, and the jaw, bound not by bone but by ligaments that allowed the animal to swallow its prey whole. Perhaps I should have said that I admire the structural refinement. The thrice-coiled ring on her ring finger gave off a cold glint, and the walls and ceilings were suddenly began to echo with the sickening squelch and crack of flesh and bones assembling. What the hell is that? Dante swearing! Dante swearing! Character development. The maestro plunged her arm into the long serpentine body of a monster. As I scrambled to equip the sinners with their identities, something abruptly stopped the beast-like appendage midway through its hurtling motion. Shit! Kira? 'Tis a foul injustice to strike against an unprepared opponent in a duel. Behold, for I shall allow thee to glimpse of the badass form that only the most renowned of fixers have displayed through the ages. The word badass is kind of like clashing with the rest of her speaking pattern. Bro, you're gonna die. Run away. Actually, hold on. That would be like a good idea. What if in Mirror Dungeon there was kind of like a metal slime enemy that you could randomly run into, and it would like give you like a bunch of starlight, but it had like a really high like dodge rate. I think that would be neat. We would have opened them all in the end of the day. SD. Again, why shorten it like that? Just say duh or something, or spell it out and just say what it was anticipated. As I was making my way towards Sinclair, who was getting bombarded with questions, when an unexpected figure behind a pillar caught my eye. It was Vespa Crab Bro. What a name. With a big piece of paper covered in crooked handwriting typed on his back. Snack thief? Charon snacks. Mr. Stringbean ate up all of them. Sorry, but I think there's some misunderstanding. Berg, kick his ass. Not only is this matter not worth pointing fingers over, Charon also shares some of the responsibility for leaving them out on the table unattended. Still, I would prefer you exercise more care next time, or you'll put me in a tough spot. Understood. Charon. Super sulky mode engaged. Not talking for half a day. Deploying super pass bitter candy. Beep, beep. Mode disabled. It's so fucking stupid. I'm not sure if this is an appropriate request, but may I remove the paper from my back now? It's a little inconvenient for me. Charon forgives this time. Next time, no mercy. Let's make sure she doesn't listen to that radio channel again. Virgilius looked on with an inscrutable expression as Charon peeled the snack thief sign off Vespa's back. Make sure to remember this, so I don't have to think I'm burning through what little candy chance I have left on this trivial nonsense. Thank you. Vespa gave a polite thanks, but he was already picking something off a plate and stuffing it into his mouth. Wait a minute, I was saving that for later. I assumed you were being picky. Well, now you know. Yet I still see you gobbling up my share. Ugh. my snack too, Verg. Kick his ass. Rodion Romanovich, I am aware that half the total snack budget allocated each center is being funneled into your snacking expenses. And now you're renting the LCA supplies as well. Chill, that's totes being agreed upon, okay? Besides, that's that, and this is this. She said, "Yo, it's me, Roll." Dante's inquiry made the outcome of the research on the sign. Heard from the researchers, but nothing of particular significance came out of it. Observation of the sign has been limited to 2 individuals, the manager and Sinclair. Due to the limited accessibility of the phenomenon, the only verifiable information so far has been its existence. There are more individuals bearing signs. By individuals bearing sign, you mean people like Demian and Sanson? Wait, then could those guys do what Sinclair did? Pull some superpowered future self and just wreck everything? Even Sonia? What if he did that and he just became like a sex worker? Oh, that would be certainly interesting. The precise position of the hypothesis was that the fundamental principles of the sign's working may be equivalent to those of a singularity or relic, but as no actual evidence was obtained from Sinclair, there's presently no means by which this hypothesis may be validated. I see. Then nothing came out of them dragging Sinclair off for that research. Oh, so you thought it was being dragged off, but still let it happen anyway? No, I mean... I'm kidding. Heard you kicked off proper out there. Even pulled out that trick you picked up from that plastered old geezer, right? Not just that. He was using that Mon technique quite effortlessly, too. What? The glowing ring thing? Yep, the glowing ring thing. I used the glowing ring thing? Alright, so what exactly is that glowing ring thing? It is, in essence, a power that can be learned by almost anyone, provided they know the proper method of training. If I were to exaggerate, even Sinner Yi-Song's pre-contract self could manage to learn it. Why must this self of mine be chosen as the point of comparison? Well, because you're the wimpiest one here. Don't let it get to you. Maybe if you have calluses on your hands one day, you could be at my level. Papa never taught me how to use it. He always said I could get stronger without a stupid crutch like that. He was stupid. To present the conclusion first. No, the notion of the sword being a sentient one is incorrect. The locus of the will is not the blade, but the scabbard. An ego forged in a rather paradoxical nature. Yes, that would be the most appropriate description. But we may have uncovered a thread. A what? What kind of thread? Coordinate with that cunt Alan for your next duty. He should still be in the ring nurse father's quarters. That'll be all. Hohenheim cut him off right in there, going back to sliding like a weirdo. All right, then. Before we go, anyone want to tag along? Otis and Heathcliff's hands shot up the moment I finished speaking. I would very much like to accompany you, Executive Manager. I knew I could rely on you, Otis. Your recognition of my loyalty honors me, Executive Manager. I, Otis, understand better than anyone you're concerned about the peril working with a prisoner of war so liable to betray. To have your indispensable self-perceived with only the handful of soldiers under command. This cannot stand. I'm afraid I won't be able to focus on other duties without personally seeing you. I get it, Otis. You made your point clear enough. Not keen on how I just keel over the moment you summoned me. Feels a bit dodgy, that. Better I stick by your side and scrap it up myself. I will follow if that's your order, Manager. No, it's fine. Just get some rest. And this place is, judging by its state, it seems to be a welfare facility located within a nest. Most likely a park. And we saw him walking and he was dragging some animal along. Really got some money to put proper rich like this place. Did you ever come here with a puppy named Saru? Yeah, I remember that. Not a puppy though. Saru was a bit bigger by then. Sorry. It hurt a lot, didn't it? I should have finished my homework faster. Puppy! No. I'm glad those fuckers are dead. Oh, I know. Want to go for walkies? You love walkies, don't you, Saru? Woo! There's this workshop Dad always visits. The door there is connected to a park. We can go right now. That was her, the kid? Verily, such gentleness doth seem most unlike the young Ryoshu. Hey, clock. Who said you could show them my memories willy-nilly? No, come on, you know it's not something I can control. GG. I don't recall why. There was this day when Saru wouldn't stop whimpering in pain. And I shut myself in my room, crying. And while I was grieving, Listo offered a solution. That he would offer me a gift the next day. And what I received was something he called the Beast Bone Blade. Tonto that would whine and yelp Saru's voice with every swing. Ew, no way. I always knew there's like creepy with Robo-Unk. That's how he killed your dog, huh? No, he didn't kill Saru. Tonto was alive. Did you just say alive? Bloody hell. Right, none of that psycho. Her eyes were embedded in it like adornments, and they'd stare at me in accusation. The tiny heartbeat of those quaking in fear. It was a horrible sight, and I felt pity. So I shortened what remained of her time with my own hands. Got me thinking after hearing all that. Why do you still want to mess with that art thing then? Art is wholly subjective, and thus one must never expect the understanding of others. The uncanny, the horrible. There's a beauty that lies in the grotesqueness of it all. I can't say I quite get it, but if you say so. But bloody hell. How do you end up getting used to that kind of thing? Why do you need to understand? You're not an artist. I got used to it. With that bastard Callisto's installation artwork. I got used to it. But that bastard Callisto's installation artworks always caused night terrors and nightmares for her. The scabbard moved, and Ryoshu came to a pause. Night terrors. Crying from nightmares. In the House of Spiders? There was actually someone who got scared of ring stuff back in your day? I need to check something. We've seen enough here. Let's go back. Yeah, let's. Nothing worth checking around here anyway. Right here. There used to be a huge artwork displayed here. I don't know what kind of impulse struck him. The bastard went about fussing, saying he needed practice so he wouldn't lose his touch. Mommy? What's wrong? Over there. Thought I told you to keep the exhibition in your room. Ah, you've returned, Yoshihide. I decided to attempt installation art of a somewhat larger scale this time, but I ran out of space in my gallery. Mommy, people were screaming. Dearest Yoshihide, Araya has reached an age where she may be introduced into the world of aesthetics. Surely this wouldn't be a problem. You liking it and me acquiring the taste doesn't mean Araya will. Let's get you back to our room. I was hugging something in my arms. I see. This hollow void. It must be Araya. What the? Startled, Kira pointed ahead where figures wearing anima masks were hauling what looked like massive lumps of flesh hidden behind a tent of sorts. Those ring assailants from before? How these villains come to stand before us once more? They probably infiltrated by an entirely separate route. Another back door. As you can see, the objective appears to be the retrieval of the ring nurse father's artworks. Get on with it. We need to move as many pieces as we can before we pull out. Wait, but I thought Robo-Unk was washed. It would be prudent to eliminate them without delay, considering the ring's reputation. Otis is right. Better to wipe them out before they try anything stupid. Guys, look like we got another job to do. Give me a hand. The radio doesn't buzz with the snitch replies this time, but it should be fine. Feed me more jobbers. According to the tracking logs recorded by surveillance devices installed here, they appear to have crossed over from another corridor. Another corridor? The corridor of the middle nurse father. Oh, my TV is gone. Couch too. Oh, those? LC researchers hauled them away. From the sound of it, they're gonna set them up in their staff lounge. That's fucked up. I know this ain't anything new, but I gotta say, these back doors are just too bloody convenient. Every technology comes at the cost, Heathcliff. Aptly said. Each of those services is fraught with life-threatening dangers for our employees. Some never return after embarking on a pathfinding journey, while some are killed in battling monstrous entities, those whose exact nature hasn't been confirmed yet, that appear in the liminal space between paths. It also costs a pretty penny to keep the secured path, well, secure. Ah, it's the door Papa used to walk through all the time. I followed Kira into the door, and the second I crossed over the threshold, a breeze carrying an oddly familiar, salty smell tickled the tip of my one of my claw cans. This one connects to somewhere in the Great Lakes area, it seems. Great Lakes? Great Lake. No, we're not near fucking like Lake Superior. Executive Manager, we seem to be in Michigan. Welcome to U-Corp's giant stingray portship. Stingray, huh? Does that ring a bell? Hang on a minute. It's that place, isn't it? That portship, that Salon de Melano, the private hair salon. Ooh! Doth it signify then that we shall finally be made audience to young Heathcliff and his hairdo most luscious? Oh, quit it with that luscious nonsense, lass. Why encourage me now when you were so cavalier about blasting my villainous ass back in the lake? Indeed. Alas, 'tis true that punishment wrought upon our merry band hath severely outweighed the crime. Would thou not agree, young Heathcliff, that to put the coupons to use would remedy thy pain a smidge? I ain't even got anywhere to spruce up for anymore. We, that how I use them? We were regulars at that Moala place, me and Papa. Papa would ask the middle fam for a favor, and he'd bring lots of coupons. You can't be talking like that, white baby. I'm not even yapping about all excited. Matthias gave you that unesthetic BC. The heck's a BC? bowl cut. Bro, listen, like I said, that's not how you shorten these things. Not a day went by without him saying stuff like, Yoshihide learned this in 2 days, or, yo, this is Yoshihide's fave, you know? Too bad I wasn't here to tell you his words weren't worth shit. I once thought of him the same as you do now. A good man, at least among the nurse fathers, carrying up to bring me gifts. But one day, I realized he'd never understand the things I really cared about, even if his life depended on it. One day, thou sayest? Pray tell, was there aught that had changed thy perception of that man? I don't remember when or why. Just that it happened. Wait, I might know this. Was it something that happened at school? Papa told me that things started getting awkward between you and him ever since you quit school. Dad, how do I go to a school? School, Yoshihide? Well, I don't see why you would wish, let alone need, to go to such an institution, when we nurse fathers are here to provide you with all the education you require. But Dad, I saw him in a picture book, and I don't have any friends here. Oh yeah, it's pointless. But it is true that there are qualities that can be learned only through group erudition that engenders competition. Very well, Yoshihide. I will register you in an institution that is not entirely dissimilar from school. I intend to send Yoshihide to an academy as part of my educational curriculum. There is an Academy of Art, a subsidiary over the ring. Companionship with other talented children of approximately her age will nurture the spirit of inspiration that will guide Yoshihide's growth. Prescript approves. But Callisto, I'll tell you now that you might be making a mistake. And how you are so certain of that? Do elaborate if you can, hand puppet of the prescripts by whom every aspect of existence is articulated. What do you even know of choice, of what is right or wrong? And off they went. Perhaps a little more situational awareness would have prevented what is to come. Callisto had found me a rather decent academy. The artworks that used to scare me when I was alone weren't so bad when I was with other kids. No, that's not quite it. It'd be more accurate to say that I started to understand people's perspective on beauty. Our lesson today will focus on corporous techniques. I take a look at the diagram here and the mannequins before you. Weave the blood vessels in the same pattern as the diagram and... I don't even know why we're learning about corporate stuff in this day and age, right? I don't get what the point of the slogan is, trying and shaping blood vessels to make a color of a drop of ink can do better. I read it in a book. Honestly, why is this washed up movement even part of the curriculum? It's just boring, shallow gore stuff. No, it's gory, but it's boring and shallow only because you guys are bad at it. What? Aw, you're mad because your dad's a lame corporist. Oh, is he? No wonder his stuff is just... Ow! I was taught that people who say bad things about my family deserve to get their butt kicked. The bad mouth in Callisto actually wasn't what set me off. I didn't have any special reverence or attachment to family like Matthias did either. It's just what I was taught to dislike, that's all. Just one of those tantrum kids that have at that age. Kids will be kids and all that. I'm home, Dad. Hey, buddy, you're home early. Oh, man, must have been playing rough out there today. You got dust all over... Not into a fight. A fight? Yeah, they kept saying dumb things about class stuff, so I smacked them. What about you? They didn't hit you anywhere, did they, buddy? On my cheek, but it's okay, because I punched them this many more times. Yeah, I do good? That's my girl. Why don't you sit tight and work on a coloring book? Dad'll be home before you know it. Okay. Is it bro business? No, it's family business. I ain't seeing what's so bad about taking care of your own. If only I'd been a simple-minded fool like you, then the story wouldn't have ended right there with a pat on my head. What? Papa, I mean, the middle doesn't stop there. It never does. You hurt a member of the family? That automatically gets you written up in the book. Yeah. And he did what he did in the end. Huh? Haha, there you are, Yoshihide. Is class starting already? My diligent little girl. Wonder who she takes after. Dad? I know. Said I'd be back before you know it. But I got a bit lost trying to find my way through those ring bastards' tricky mazes. You know how they are. Oh yeah, there are so many sniveling brats here. Well, as for their crimes, they slapped my buddy's face hard enough to leave a mark. That's an arm for you. The instructors, well, anyone would agree they did one sorry job keeping these tykes under control. In that case, pursuant to Title 2, Section 52 of the book, execution by beheading. They clearly don't got much use for what sits on their shoulders, eh? I like it, buddy. Papa's the best, ain't he? How dare he? Such senseless, barbaric violence. Uncultured, uncivilized animal. Do not be discouraged, dearest Yoshihide. I know yet another academy worthy of your talents. It is a much more significant and prestigious academy this time. I assure you, even an intemperate berserker like Matthias won't dare force his way into such a place as he did the previous academy. I don't want Yoshihide. I don't want to go to an academy. I don't want to go. I don't need friends anyway. Or all his posturing. Nothing that was ever important to me held any significance to Matthias. It took a lot away from me just to feel good about himself. So I hoped he, more than anyone, would never find out about the things I held dear, because I was afraid he would take them away from me like he did the others. Every contract that took me away from the House of Spiders made me tremble in anxiety, as I worried about... I don't remember what. But I do know I could never stop thinking about my room. So, whatever occupied the room in my absence must have been the most precious thing to me in the world. Well, with that covered, you guys want to head back? Hang on.
What's up? You gonna get that luscious treatment before heading back?
Shut it, you. That ain't it. Look there, those blokies walking in the salon. Oh man, they fucked up my shit. They don't know how to cut the fucking taxidermied hair. Fuck me, man. Next up, the Thumbs Corridor. In the Thumbs Corridor, we came across a bunch of papers detailing the comings and goings of the Thumbs members and the orders they were carrying. Whoever wrote the logs has been diligently keeping them updated. The last entry was written not so long ago. Once just shitty scrap papers. You'd be keeping up with that useless shit the whole time. Huh. Useless shit? Dante, stop swearing. Hey, there's someone in here. More of the ring, maybe? Going by their silhouette, they're unlikely to be members of the ring. Come on, lady, get me out of the way so I can see. It's the detective, some stubbly guy I don't know, and that annoying Airy dude. Hi, Moses. Great, wait, Gregor's here. Yay! Hey, Greg. You okay, fella? You bumped your head earlier. Fun as a fiddle. It was just a minor fall. This is the third time it's occurred. We'll discuss this issue with the manager once this consultation is over. Anyway, you know what to do, right? If at any moment you see signs of... Don't worry, Gregor. You made it through the explosion and the footage both. You're gonna be fine again. I believe in you. Aw, he's so cute. Buddies. Look at you now. We're right where it happened, but your arm is stable, see? Fear tends to grow most unmitigated when it is distant and unseen. I understand what you might be worried about, but I don't see even the earliest portents of it. But don't hesitate to share the unfiltered thoughts that arise that while you're here. Aw, Bubby. I know what I saw in the footage, but I'm still having a hard time believing it. Or, I don't know. Maybe I'm just avoiding the truth when it's staring me right in the face. My case is nothing like Don Quixote's. She just needs to keep her shoes on, and it's all good and dandy for her, isn't it? Things don't work out that way for me.
You sure about eavesdropping on him like this?
The geezer's always weirdly cagey about himself. Maybe now's our chance to learn more about him.
He's sharing such an IS about himself for once. Why walk away?
Don Quixote gives a nonsensical interpretation of Ryoshu's acronym as Kira rolls her eyes out of exasperation. Between the bickering sitters and Kira, however, Oda stands in silence with an inscrutable look on her face. She is listening to the exchange between Moses and Gregor like a woman possessed. Okay, let's keep listening then. Otis was right. Damn it, she was right all along. The war isn't over. It never was. And it can never be over as long as this fucking joke of a gift stays attached to my arm. Barbed words. Now, let's revisit a question you couldn't answer while the footage was playing. Hopefully, it's become easier to answer now. You've been using that arm to fight just fine so far. How? I don't mind fighting hostiles or enemies. I'm not the kind of person who worries about people trying to kill me. But killing my comrades, that changes things, doesn't it? I can't even control it. There's nothing I can't even do to brace for it. It's unstoppable, like some kind of time bomb counting down to release a disease you never know when its symptoms will set off. Even Heathcliff, who was always the first to step up when people began to spile into self-hatred, stood in conflicted silence, his lips drawing a hard, straight line. Besides, Gregor wasn't wrong in that, at present, there wasn't a way to stop his transformation should it occur again. We still got a good chunk of the journey left, and eventually we'll have to... No matter what lurks in the past of us sinners, even if they killed hundreds, thousands, no, tens of thousands of innocent people, will you still embrace them? We'll have to uncover and we'll eventually have to confront an even darker, bleaker truth of the war. Can I really trust Gregor not to crumble under that inevitable pressure? Well, that's, at first I thought I couldn't give a hoot whether or not I accidentally murdered some of you. It's a bit saddening to hear that. You know how it is, Hong Lu. We, the bus team, didn't exactly get off to a rocking good start. But through our journey, I've begun to think of you all as my comrades. And I was okay with that because
because I had too much faith in my own weakness. When I realized I had grown so weak that I couldn't even take down some backstreet thug with this arm, I was relieved. Imagine that. The same arm. My arm. A weapon that stabbed the heart of countless people during the smoke war. I'll be honest, when that Hohenheim fella said I was an exception, the thought alone gave me hope. Exception. Potential to be harmless, weaker than even a non-combatant like Yi-san. It made me hope for a life that didn't sound so bad. We all know how that went though, don't we? Blew up in the worst possible way. Or all that. I just couldn't bring myself to fight again. Since I no longer know when this fear would eat me up again. Because I'm constantly afraid of this damn gift manifesting again. The same fear you've carried all this time. How did you endure it before? Badly. Barely. Holding on to the idea that living's gotta live on. And nothing else. This really brings me back years. The memories are so clear. It's like they all happened yesterday. She kicked me off the bus before push comes to... That can't be the answer, Gregor. You can walk away, but the danger of our journey won't leave with you. Dante and the rest of us will still be facing an endless repeat of peril. And it's not like leaving the bus will bring peace to your heart. Our deaths can be reversed should an accident occur. Even if it comes at the cost of Dante's suffering. The same can't be said for most people in the city. No, that's something I never expected to hear from you. Guess you're right. If we're seeing this through to any kind of end, this would be the place to do so. Not many places in the city have some warmth to them like this one does. Boy, this consultation thing's pretty embarrassing. Truth be told, I'm not some special case. Everyone who participated in that war must have gone through more or less the same experience. Miss Moses, Udders, even Valencia, that piece of work. We can't attach a number to our misfortunes as if there's something to be measured. When I fled from my past, I tried my hardest to avert my eyes from it. But you, Gregor, you're not like me. Every few steps that distance you from your past, you'd come to a pause, to spare a look to the path you walked. All those years I let slip by, all those that slipped you are dotted with fathoms of suffering that are both ineffable and beyond measure. Different experiences, different pain. Still, if there's one thing in common to everyone, it's that trauma leaves after effects that linger for a long time. What are yours? I dislike loud noises and people who talk too much. They sound too much like the cacophony of war. Like screaming comrades who resented me even as they lay dying. I thought you were fond of Miss Ezra, Miss Moses. I've talked too much. Haven't you heard your fill? Might as well come out of that corner you're hiding in. I was actually waiting for just the right moment to come out and say a few words, but I couldn't find an appropriate moment to... well, I would have had to share this with Manager Bud and the rest of you fellows sooner or later, so I don't really mind, but... What's she doing here? T.A. Temporary ally? No, temporary accompaniment. Don't be an asshole. I'm working my ass off to help you guys. Pleased to meet your acquaintance. Kira, do you know which door the Thumb's nurse father was the most attached to? Huh? No, duh. Duh? That's supposed to be obvious?
Look, I think you might be training wrong, because, you're not improving as much as you should from all that grind. Let me show you what I learned about sword things from this comic book.
That is not how my master has instructed me. The textbook cannot be permitted to have even a single deviation if it means to repay the debt it owes her.
Why are you so obsessed with that crap anyway? You don't even like the old lady.
You're not so different from me in that regard, are you?
Bro, the heck are you talking about? I love my papa. Seriously, I thought things were gonna crash and burn before Yoshihide even came home.
Suppose textbook and I had that in common. If this one doesn't know, let me redirect the question towards you, Sinner Ryoshu. Do you know which of these doors the Thumb Nurse Father showed particular attachment to? Or the door she used the most often? I ask me. Fine. Yes, I do remember. Don't even need clocks help to piece it back together. It's that one. The door with the metal pieces dangling from it.
Holy shit, I almost died out there. Son of a bitch, a fucking fly. Where those G-Corp fucks even drag those gross pests from?
Mom? Are you okay?
Do I look okay to you, Ticket?
No, not really.
Ha! I'm fine. You know I don't break easy. You should have been there to see me tear the head off that G-Court vermin ticket. But Mom, your leg's bleeding a lot. Here comes another mission. Boy, I really can't do shit without me, huh? So much for a break. Fuck is this? Bandages? For you. This kid's serious. I got truckloads of expensive treatments on the ready to patch me up the moment I get back to the feet. Well, okay, never mind that. Hey, this works. Mom? Sit tight and don't start any trouble. I'll teach you some sword techniques once I'm back.
Must have been her years in the smoke war. Yeah, fighting the war took a lot out of her. You're perpetually exhausted. But she marched into every battle with a smile. Stopped drinking. Stopped beating me too. Sometime after the war ended, someone she called the Consultation, the thumb, visited this house of spiders as a tutor. And that's when she right back to drinking herself into a shit-faced super day after day. The beatings returned. And so did the edge in her profanities. It was pathetic. Hold on, why though? Sure, I was on the losing side. But wasn't Valencia on the winning side? War hero and that? Ever heard of the regulation that prevents smoke war participants from moving to I Corp and K Corp nests? The common thread between these post-war rules is that they make the lives of veterans difficult. Dubious rules that don't discriminate between winners and losers. I see, there must have been some things going on behind the scenes there too. But doesn't that mean the back door will drop us into a trench they dug out in the war? Yes, and Gregor will be the one to open it. Wait, me? Yes. Others can do it for you, but what would be the point? You sure this won't end up giving him more nightmares? I don't see how this helps him in any way. We do not have the means to treat whatever it is that slumbers within his arm. However, I would summarize the underlying cause of his sudden transformation wasn't the arm itself. Then what? It's trauma. His arm took control after his psyche was crushed by the weight of the unspeakable memories coming back to haunt him. It's not because the arm went berserk that he started reliving his painful past. It's the other way around. Isn't that so? If you can come to understand that the war really is over, and that what others say, no matter how closely they echo the past, is not necessarily aimed towards you, then you may be able to loosen your grip on the fear and anxiety that your arm could metamorphose at any moment. Fine, then. Guess I'll open it up. Gregor walked up to the door, grabbed its handle, then paused, taking slow, deep breaths. And with one arm, he gently opened the door.
Why are you running? You should be taking the lead on the front lines with our G-Corp banner held high. I don't want to die. It's nice to have a place to go back to. Oh, right. Happy 15th birthday. But you can't possibly have the cheek to call me cruel. G-Corp pasts were far more messed up than I ever was. Ripping people apart, cannibalizing them. You were nothing but a swarm of fucked up monsters.
I thought I'd woken up from the dream, but I was still... Gregor, no! Greg! Oh, he's fine. This place. Eh? Just a boring old office. You recognize this place? Of course I do. My last job before Limbus Company, and my desk was over here. Here's a tip, fellas. If you're working in an office like this, always get a corner desk facing the wall if you can help it. Lets you hide from the boss man. Out of sight, out of might, you know. You can do whatever you want that way. Work, chill, or even freak out in terror at the slightest sound of metal clinking. No one will catch you. No one would ever think you were bothered at other people. The only downside is desk arrangement being people walking up behind me to get my attention. Higher-ups just had to holler. Hey. Higher-ups just had to holler. Hey, bet higher? And I'd scuttle right up to them. But others can't do that. So when people walked up to me from behind, I'm afraid I might cause an accident. That higher. Must have been about the post-war veteran special employment. Right. But I couldn't possibly complain. Wouldn't have gotten the job without it, you know? Not everyone is lucky to be considered for that. I was better off than most. Gregor? Manager Ted? It really is you, Gregor. And I see some new faces with you. Oh, wait. Oh. You folks must be the account that the guys on the other team asked us to leave the meeting room open for. Landing a new job, huh? I see you got a new employee card right there. Well, so how have you been doing? Me? Same old. Well enough. It's not like I got anywhere else to go, right? Is the pay good? How's life, man? Oh yeah, you were gonna sell that commemorative coin? Some kind of medal, right? Hope you got paid good money for that. Look at me, asking house life to a fellow citizen. Can't imagine anybody would have anything good to say about that, huh? Moving on. Hope no one's happening with Fed hire shit over there. Nope, not at all. There's none of that here. Hey, that's good to hear, man. Hey, that's good to hear, man. Glad you don't have to deal with that dang jackass of an exec VP messing with you like he was a war veteran himself. You know how many years I had to hear that geezer bragging on about he profiteered from the war, pulling himself up his bootstraps about every perils and opportunity waiting to be found, blah, blah, blah. I'm preaching to the choir, aren't I? That guy, huh? He's still taking his sauna breaks during work hours? What do you think? His seat misses his ass every day. And get this. Remember how I used to call you special employment fellas Nepo Force? A few days ago, his name showed up in the HR report. Guess what it said? Turns out he was lining his pockets with kickbacks when he was choosing the fixer office for a partnership project. There's about to be a vacancy in the office real soon. Really? Isn't he, an actual Nepo? I thought he was the president's family. Yeah, man, it's that bad. It's what anyone ever talks about by the water cooler. If there's anything I learned here, it's that people obsessed with back in my days are all kind of like him. They hate how their glory days are behind them. Kind of like a distracted or pathetic they are now. And hey, a backstreets kid like myself don't have any glory days to look back on and yearn for, right? I look back and it's all gloom and doom, if you ever hit rock bottom, you also know the only way left is to go up. You said something like that before, yeah? Yeah, this is my own brand of bullshit philosophy. Oh boy, look at me running my mouth in front of our customers. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, don't worry about it. Huh? Some pretty unique prosthesis you got there. No worries, but it seems you're on your way to submit those proposals. Gee golly, I'm late. Thank you for stepping me out of it. I'm gonna get one heck of a scolding. Anyway, Gregor, hit me up sometime. Let's go catch up over a drink or something. Sure, if I get the chance. I can see a bit of in the way you talk, Gregor. Come on, I don't sound as old as he does, do I? Many of us who are returned from the war seem to suffer from a certain misconception. When we are told to remember, it does not mean we are bidden to relive through the nightmare of the past over and over again. We are not being cursed to relive the pain and suffering in it. Both Ezra and I, we're both still trying to be free of the misconception we inflicted on ourselves. Not like I remember because I want to. Might as well include in your memory the fact that the war has indeed ended. Fine. You're not wrong there. Manager bud, can't say I can give you any reassurance, but going on with my life seems to be the best answer for now. I want to ask if you're okay with that though. I'll manage, but it's you who's gonna have to deal with the aftermath. Still, live on. Just live on. Yet even as his lips spoke those words, his eyes would take on a desperate and unfocused look, shaded behind despair. Though today, the gloomy gray seemed to give way to just a hint of the blue sky beyond. Maybe no more than a single ray of sun peering through the dark clouds that have long suffocated the sky. It would probably take much more than this for the shadows to be fully lifted, but don't you worry. I'll be fine. It's a big step forward for him to address a little bit of persistent anxiety from his past. When we emerged from the door, we saw Udders facing away from us, her weapon drawn. Wait, I don't think she even followed us through the door. Huh? Were you here the entire time? Yes. I was told by that Allen figure that someone had stayed behind. Aw man, it's those asshats again. Weird. The corridor's not a place for those newbies to be roaming around on their own. As you can see, a few uninvited guests had decided to visit us through a different door. I looked past Udders just in time to see the fauvism pouring into the corridor through a different back door. They must be trying to find a way to get to the Nurse Ringfather's corridor. Well, we can't just let them through, can we? Kill them all. So intense. Easy. More like floppist. Uh-oh, there's fewer enemies here. That's scary. Once we dealt with the fauvism who invaded the Thumb Nurse Father's destroyed corridor, we left for the Index and ran into a few familiar faces waiting for us at our destination. Huh? Don't you guys have today off? Yeah, but I thought I might as well come along. It's, you keep summoning us while we're in the middle of something, so I decided that it might be more convenient for us to be with you in person. Your summoning occurred at the most unideal moment. Now, I know you weren't doing it on purpose, but all 3 times you summoned me, I was leaning over snacks topped with a bunch of whipped cream. Today, I learned that blacking out waking up to a me-shaped indent in the cake I was about to chow down on doesn't make for a relaxing break. Sorry about that. I appreciate the additional employee assignments. Now, if you can share information you know about the yet another corridor, I hung out here all the time, so I know this place a little. There's a super clingy, annoying little... no, that wasn't the mask dude. It was this other... Alright. Kira probably doesn't remember Sora. I can almost imagine her giggling to herself like a creepy loner, and she probably wears glasses too, right? Like one of those gloomy introverts from anime. I see. So that way it feels like I'm tearing through each strand of a weave. Ryoshu? Let's say the world's made of strings or thread clock. With every slash, this blade would be cutting through the flow of strands that twine to compose one's existence. When an object is severed forever beyond repair, you'd think neither trace nor shape would be left of it. But now that you've pieced some of it together, it's almost... Instead of elaborating further, Ryoshu fell silent again, save for the sound of the tip of her cigarette turning to ash. It was like she was recalling another incomplete memory. Pop had to go through 4 ramp-up stages and remove seals to, like, even make full use of his sword. Honestly, yours needs a trade-off. Your sword totally power creeps Papa's. Are you fucking power scaling right now, you little gremlin? We're having a serious discussion. Kira directed us to an almost disturbingly normal wooden door. I think this leads to a basement? Whenever the masked unk's beeper rang, he'd walk through this door. So, who are they? The Index. He's just got like fucking proselytes in here? He just keeps them in his basement? What a weirdo. Why are you here, paper slips? We were only executing the prescript. I've had it with these prescripts. Though at least yours don't make annoying beeps. This room seems to have been used for something worse than simple incarceration. Among Faust's conjectures that the kidnaps were conditioned in body and mind in various ways to match the prescript's liking. Wait. This staircase right there leads up. Let's check out what's freaking annoying, man. The heck are you doing? You cannot enter through this door. Oh, I see. Another griefer body blocking the doorway. Oh, I see. Another griefer body blocking the doorway. Move. I need to see something. The will of the prescript forbids you. You cannot enter through this door. Is it worth forcing our way in there? Prefer it if we stay as far as possible if anything to do with the gods. I mean, prescripts, but... Wait, what? Otis, you want to clarify? What do you mean by that? The will of the prescript is absolute. Is it, though? Oh boy, Furioso. Don't mind if I do. Nice. What's up there? I'm not sure myself. I've never been upstairs. Are you even a little curious? Why bother peeling back the heavens to see what's beyond? Those wanting of yearning need to raise their heads skyward. Am I seeing Araya's memories? Block. What did you see? I'm not sure, but now we got another reason to check what's upstairs. Oh, I completely forgot to read things. I forgot I was recording. I got lost in the sauce. Wow, this looks familiar. I wonder what this place used to be like. The Index Nurse father. The last time we saw him, he fled the house via a corridor and suffered a severe wound at Ryoshu's hand. If by some miracle he survived, there's a chance he'd come after Ryoshu again, but I think our last encounter led me to believe this is the last time Ryoshu would ever see him. This is... You recognize this drawing? I found myself hoping to see Ryoshu piece together another memory. She'd be recalling new details all day whenever something caught her attention. Sadly, she responded by softly shaking her head. No, I don't. Great work. That just leaves the Pinky Nurse Father's corridor. That room didn't have any back doors for us to explore. There were countless more in the adjacent corridor, but our guideline makes it a bit difficult to delve into each and every one of them right away, which means that our work here is done. Thank you for your assistance, Dante. Okay. I'm glad we could help. Dante replies that they're happy to be of assistance. Well then, it's been a pleasure. As we had more business here than simply checking the doors, we decided to stay a little longer, investigate the Pinky's corridor. Each door we opened led to a room identical in shape to the previous one. I've been here before. Someone ghosted me after promising to watch Fixer clips together, so I thought I'd come visit. His name was Ren, the Pinky Apprentice. So when you sit back in K-Corp that you cooked before, you were talking about this, huh? Yep. I used to perform intense culinary artistry here. Your scabbard's shaking. The reviews were glowing. One of them was YUM, meaning yeah, unbelievably mouthwatering. The scabbard, Araya, was defiantly shaking from side to side in a valiant effort to deny Ryoshu's claim. This has been pretty damn bad, huh? Dante's got like a potty mouth now. What happened? What did you usually make? Boxed lunch. Boxed lunch that kids might bring to grade school, with sausages cut like octopuses and tamagoyaki. A bit simple to be intense culinary artistry, don't you think? IF. You know, there's nothing like a school lunchbox rivalry.
So I want octopus sausages, tamagoyaki, and...
Why am I making sausages out of an octopus?
No, like sausages cut like octopuses.
And why are we cutting sausages into octopus shapes?
Because it's adorbs, that's why.
Something like this. That's a bacteriophage. What is that? Sausage carved into octopus shape. Didn't miss a single suction cup. Come on, it didn't mean like a real octopus. It's gotta be adorbs, Kay? Isn't it all the SD once it goes down the gullet? Why is this so important? But, Mommy, there's nothing like a school lunchbox rivalry. IDU. Huh? You're doing your weird acronyms again, aren't you? It means I don't understand.
That's when you say IDK, Mom. SMH.
These must have been some of the happiest memories Ryoshu and Araya shared. The sinners, me, and Araya, even as a scabbard, could imagine or recall them in full. But for Ryoshu, the most important part of those memories remained sliced away. Still, if we continue to piece more and more of our memories together by going over these places. You want to check out what's upstairs too? As soon as I asked, however, the sinner's footsteps came to a simultaneous stop. Wait. Well, you're scary. Hang on, Clockhead. Don't open that door just yet. I looked back and found Kira and Heathcliff posed to fight. This way, manager. And Marceau, who realized what that indicated, yanked me to the back of the line. So, there was someone guiding those whelps. Figured they send more than fodder to the house of spiders. Stinks of wet dog. Claws of a massive paw slashed through where we had just been standing. Your boobs are massive. Wow. It really is, as Maestro Emile Benoit said. This place is already occupied. If you would be so kind as to help me with directions. We let them observe us too freely. What? What is that? Clovis got to confirm a lot of important intel, including the fact that the House of Spiders has fallen, and that Ryoshu is currently in possession of the Urayashiki. They were out Ryoshu for themselves, whether she's completed or not. Ryoshu as she is now. Isn't that intriguing for once? My name is Rufo. Yoshi, I can't read. Your beautiful face. I'm lost in your eyes. Don't see the point in hanging around with people in this unaesthetic AM. The shape of her ring suggests that she's a docent of the school of fauvism. Barely. That makes her a worthy foe to suppress even Ricardo's might. Or, with a stroke of ill fortune, even Lei Hang. Doubt she's anywhere strong as Lei Hang. Our chances are HOHOM. Half or more? I like those odds. Half or more. Dude, really? Yoshihide, I ask you, have you ever considered pursuing art of a further elevated beauty? Began piling on empty definitions onto itself. Fauvism is a movement that is broken from the traditional mold. Unfettered like a beast that roams free, we dare ourselves to ask questions that challenge the mind. What is man? What are things? What does it mean to trace the origin? How do we define that which we call le faux? These are the subject matters that have led us foes to the field of fertile creativity. Should you, a wielder of that relic, enter the fold of our movement, it will layer your work with such an unrelenting spectrum of colors that it will be destined to leave an unforgettable impression in the annals of history. In other words, what we can offer you will be much greater worth than what you may have learned from a teacher like Callisto. Never considered him my teacher. Not a real one, anyway. Finding beauty among the carnage of blood and flesh is a lesson I learned on my own. And yes, I know enough about your movement. Maybe I considered some of the works created by your school acceptable. At least among the rings art. Or not. I can't remember. Then will you? But I don't know. I don't know what makes your art more elevated than the one I pursue. The one you pursue? Didn't the site you claim to have seen clue you in? Oh, it did. I do understand. Your art may appear no more than unchecked chaos at a glance, but upon closer observation, it reveals a fierce, dominant force that threads the entire scene together with as keenness as the connecting suture. Your blade work, too, shows multi-layeredness. Mere keenness often entails mundanity, yet you have transcended such a limit by scorching the tail end of each slash. Truly a unique aesthetic sense. I believe I've sufficiently understood the full extent of the artistic merit imbued in that scene. No, you didn't. Lesser painters like you are such mediocrities that you fail to recognize the beauty that lies in the grotesque. They do little beyond painting the hell reflected in their eyes, and call that shallowness hell's beauty. The sorrow condensed into a cry held in an instant. Wrath unbound from the yoke of reason. Fading gleam of despair in the hue. You give no thought to what each of those emotions signifies, instead obsessing over the cursory qualities of what is beheld.
Let me teach you otherwise. Pay attention, because I won't afford to give you another long-winded lesson. I've seen my share of the Ring's galleries, heard their commentaries. Your art is an overcomplicated pile of definitions buried under symbols, caked in patchworks of empty shells. You and your art both talk too damn much, just like Callisto's. Kept trying to take from other movements, forcing meaning where there was none. Excess is easy. Anyone can do it. What's beyond most is making it succinct. The art of abbreviation. Alas, if all is one by one abbreviated away, nothing remains in its absence, making the void left completely bereft of meaning. No. The void is what remains. It holds things that can't be found anywhere else. What is it? A minimalist manifesto? No. My aesthetics go beyond the pursuit of simplicity. I pursue the natural germination of artistic immaculacy. A state of perfection wherein further abbreviation is an impossibility. S-A-N-G-R-I-A. Bit abstract, isn't it? Too removed. Too plain. With a distinct lack of meaning, striking qualities. What exactly is it that elevates your art above that of fauvism? Painters. We're the stubborn sort that mere words can't convince. Indeed, there is no discipline more subjective than that of art. Discourse concerning its nature may extend for days on end. It will not change the fact that unseen arts are meaningless, pretentious illusions at the end of the day. I suppose I have to carve it right into your eyes. Please do, though I'm afraid it may be overshadowed by the sheer vibrancy of my aesthetics. I, a docent of fauvism, shall personally welcome you to my critique session. Punch me in the stomach. Nice. First try. Let's go. See, you're already looking much better with those superfluous animal parts removed. You're serious about founding your own movement. You'll need time. Under the Fauvis wing, at least you can fully cultivate their movement, perhaps. I don't suppose words have any meaning now. The docent raised her giant arm as though to strike us in her final act of defiance, then slammed it down upon the door we entered through instead. All I can do is buy time. For mid-sentence, the docent suddenly went limp like a marionette whose strings were cut. Dead. Thus we have made foes with yet another finger, the ring. Let's not doom and gloom already, fellas. We beat an officer of the fingers all on our own for the first time, didn't we? I see this as an absolute win. All on your own, huh? Come on, bro. I was fighting my ass off out there. Herr Gregor has a point. The outcome of this battle would not have changed by a significant margin even if you had not been there, Kira. First off, rude. Second, has she said that in a while? Like, it's been a while since like the sinners have like spoken their like native tongue in like just like a casual sentence. I thought it was like an old translation thing. This is more like it. Wanted to freak out over a mere BB anymore as long as we're with the clock. Oh shit! Where'd the exit go? Room's now locked in a loop without a starting point. Won't matter what door we open. Is there anything we can do? It will be approximately between a week or two from the present before we can return. Would you like anything from DoorDash, Dante? What about the part where it cuts into your memories too? Deal with that yet? No. The sword, it still cleaves my memory with every slash. Don't know what memory to slice away this time. It'll be something recent, or one I hold dear. Oi! Wait, don't be so bloody rash about it! Other than me, no one but Heathcliff still remembers the person he holds in the loving depths of his heart, ever since the day of the Sepia Tempest. Memory took on a special, precious meaning to Heathcliff. Heathcliff suddenly reached out and grabbed Ryoshu's arm. Though Ryoshu and Heathcliff's circumstances were undoubtedly different from each other, it was clear that Ryoshu's reckless attitude towards sacrificing her own memories triggered a sort of anxiety in Heathcliff. What? Didn't you hear? The news will be here in about a week or two to get us out, and we're getting DoorDash. Just chill. The radio doesn't work. Right, but what if we got lucky and they find us in a day or two? Quit freaking out, HC. It'll only be forgotten, not lost. Well, good memories don't tend to last very long. It's been a fun excursion, clock. I look towards the scabbard, expecting it to rattle violently as it did earlier, but it remains still. The white blade soon reveals itself. It cuts across the wall where the door used to be. And naturally, as the Ryoshiki's blade cleaves through the wall, so does it Ryoshu's memories. We were really getting somewhere. The thin strands of Araya's image, which had just begun to coalesce, slowly unraveled and fell apart once again. Even still, Araya released the blade without hesitation. But it's okay. We'll try again, so... Conveying no resentment, no hatred,
but a few words of consolation.
Don't feel too bad.
As her voice faded into the gentle dark with Ryoshu's memories. Ah, welcome back. Question. What exactly was the point of verifying every back door within the House of Spiders? Oh, Hohenheim didn't fill you in? Any information regarding these doors holds an enormous value for us. Not to mention their higher-ups requesting us to reorganize the House of Spiders into a base of operations as soon as possible, even if we had to rush our work a little. Only speculating here, but I'm quite convinced that they're preparing for a conflict of sorts. These little pockets of absolute safety are extremely valuable during these operations, as you already know. Wait, stop right there. What? What conflict? What operation? Are you saying that your bosses are preparing for a war or something? I just feel like there isn't enough alarm in his voice considering what he's saying. Preparing for what? Not even trying to hide it anymore, huh? Did I say something wrong? Muskew asked to know. Haha. I thought everyone already knew. I mean, it's an open secret at this point. L Corp has already fallen. W Corp was teetering on the brink of collapse. You call us the Aspirin W Corp. We call Limbus Company the Aspirin L Corp, meaning we have a shared goal. But unlike the dead and gone L Corp, the current W Corp's still kicking, despite its rapid decline in recent years. As we all know, companies in the cities aren't worth much unless they got the military force to back them, right? It's only natural that a business conflict would lead to a physical one as well. This is just a mere team leader speaking, though. Who knows what the higher-ups in our companies are thinking.
Either way, much virtual collaboration was had today. This will reflect pretty well in our performance metrics, and we didn't suffer that many losses. I can safely say that you should expect a positive review from us regarding this collaboration.
After saying our farewells to Alan, we returned to the forward base and shared with Hohenheim everything that's happened so far. Hohenheim and Faust did not seem willing to discuss the subject of the looming conflict, so instead decided to have Ryoshu's memory and sword re-examined. Oi, Hohenheim, results out yet? Not yet, assistant. I remember telling you 3 minutes ago that it would take 20 more minutes. Have you forgotten already? He talks too much. Ryoshu sounded irritated as she scolded Heathcliff, but I could sense a definite undercurrent of anxiety from the way she kept puffing her cigarettes to a stub at increasingly shorter intervals. This room might be more smoke than oxygen at this point. Might slowing down a tad. You're practically fumigating the room with cigarette smoke. And speed up glasses. Gotta bounce as soon as I hear the results. Look, I haven't had my coffee yet. I can't really do the fast talking thing right now, but both of you need to learn to respect that these things take time. Yes, time is indeed relative, but the fact that I have managed to complete an in-depth analysis of an item of such mystery in a single day is an incredibly fast turnaround and therefore deserves your appreciation. I've been attempting to rein in the more self-indulgent part of myself as of late, but I believe this achievement deserves to be elaborated upon. It is an evident truth that such a result could not have been replicable had it not been for my genius brain. Go into the hallway and grab any passing researcher and tell them about my incredible turnaround time. You will hear them say, "Whoa, done already?" And to that I will answer, STFU. Evidently tired of the two sinners alternating turns hounding him for results, Hohenheim seemed to speed up the analysis and managed to hit the finish line much earlier than 20 minutes. Whoa, done already? Yeah, you're real funny, aren't you? Then why aren't you saying anything? Give me the TR now. So I am attempting to observe the exact metrics of doing precisely that. I wasn't expecting him to swear. You think Yoshihide would ever use known acronyms straight? What if it's something like, sheesh, that's a full day. Unwind after work, though. That is exactly what I meant. She's better than MTL in some ways. How she lies, she breathes. At that moment, I might have caught a glimpse of the scabbard rattling slightly atop the examination device. Almost as though we were giggling. Very well, I'll get right to it. First, the memory of the time she was complimented for her cooking has been erased. That's it? Hardly. Don't cut in, I'm talking. Sorry, I'm snappy without my caffeine. Second, a name has been erased from her memory. You recall the name of the man who works with Manager Sode, Effie? I would have asked that in the past tense had it been whom I was referring to. Glad Miss Sode wasn't here for that. That kid. Right, I don't remember his name. Not Pilot. She forgot Pilot's name? That she did. Wait, what? Wait, what? What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean? How she forgot Pilot's name? That she did. Can Hohenheim understand Dante? Wait, what? Is this an oversight? What the fuck? Among other miscellaneously deleted memories are 172 hours of Don Quixote's tales of adventure and the types of food she fed to a seagull. Fie upon it! Dost thou say the memories most precious to young Ryoshu and me have been thrown into utter destruction? Alas, Hopefully she forgot the one time I fed a seagull Pepto-Bismol.
Look, Donkey, I'm not trying to be mean here, but if we're going by sheer volume, I wouldn't quite say its mileage is acceptable. It erased several days worth of memories just for a single swing, didn't it? I mean, yeah, but they kind of sound like inconsequential memories, don't they? Greg and Heath forget stuff all the time. How's this any different? The seemingly inconsequential nature of these particular memories weren't achieved by sheer luck. In fact, they seem to have been impacted by the scabbard of the Ryoshu. Or to be more precise, the power of Uriah's ego. But Ryoshu regards the scabbard with a conflicted look, as though to approximate the outlines of the void she left behind. So, have her memories been restored? As presumed, her attempts to recall the erased being's existence have resulted in failure. That is quite discouraging. And not all is lost simply by knowing that something used to be in that negative space. Many things can still be reminisced upon. Like Ryoshu said, forgotten, but not lost. Clock, you've just stepped foot into the world of Sangria. She flashes the briefest of smiles, then scatters it away with a puff of cigarette smoke. Collecting the GB will restore it. What used to be here, in the pockets of my heart, my one and only. Ryoshu's gaze traced the invisible, the unperceivable. After a few more days passed us by.
Kind of feels like we're home again.
Damn, this is your ride? Hella badass. That feel when someone compliments your bus. That feel when somebody... I asked Team Leader Alan to send you the coordinates somewhere as close as possible to the nest. Keep driving through the door and it'll bring you right to an empty spot on the highway. Well then, time for a valediction, I suppose. Perhaps I've grown far too used to seeing your faces. Saying goodbye doesn't come out as easily as I expected it to. Sorry, I'm choking up a bit. Another day of reunion must await in the future. I never want to see you again. Yeah, fuck you too. Hey, Yoshihide. I wouldn't say we're family exactly, but listen, there's a lot of stuff I want to say to you and a lot of stuff I want to hear from you, okay? So, SYL. Did I do that right? Acronymize it into L and call me Ryoshu, not Yoshihide. Prefer the echoes of that name. Well, off to our next destination, I guess. Oh, all right. Where are we headed next? Dante inquires about the next destination for Julius. Oh, that's more like it. Been too bloody long since I heard that question. Yeah, don't get too excited. When has an answer to that question ever led us anywhere that is not downright bizarre? Virgilius gave us a faint, knowing smile as though to confirm Ishmael's pessimistic remark, then delivered a comment that sounded too lighthearted for its gravity. We're going back to the fucking building.